Hey ladies, welcome to Q3 meeting of 2020. We are excited today because we have news for Claris Engage and we have news for new leads moving forward. The turnover is at Engage, but we would start that transition before. So very excited on those new officers and new positions that's coming up here on an announcement. As I usually do, I want to kick off the meeting with our mission statement. Our mission statement is to provide resources to help women succeed in their careers as Claris and FileMaker developers. I think we're doing some of that, which is good. And Maka's going to bring in some exciting stuff here at the end to share as to how we are reaching out to even younger women and people of color as well. Our goals are to provide networking opportunities, provide Claris Engage scholarships, provide mentorship opportunities, and provide leadership opportunities. And those leadership opportunities are the ones that you're going to see coming up here as the result of our election. The sad part is that this will be my last meeting as your leader. I have been blessed to serve all of you for 3 years. I'm excited at what we accomplished over those 3 years, and I'm really looking forward to the next people being able to take off and run with it. So with that said, I'm going to hand it over to Linda to announce the results of our election.
Okay, first of all, can everyone hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, great. All right, we're going to do this kind of as a little group in our committee. So I'm going to start off and just say thank you to everybody who voted. It was our first ever election. We had some bumps. We've learned a lot, and we will do a few things differently next time. So thanks for your patience. We had 30 people out of 81 paid members who actually voted. So it's, not quite 40% people, but that's kind of typical for U.S. elections. So here we go. We're going to start with the results. I'm going to give you the results for the bylaws, and then Bev, Elizabeth, and Karen are going to announce the rest of the winners of the leaders. So, surprise, surprise, our bylaw changes were passed unanimously. So, thank you to everyone who read the bylaws and who did that. So, they're out there. So, thank you. So now I'm going to turn it over to Beverly to announce some of the winners. So are you there, Bev?
I am.
There you go.
There's an echo. Does anybody else hear the echo? Okay. Okay. Our new lead facilitator taking over for Susan will be Chrissy Ferris. And of course, since Susan is in the position now, she becomes our past lead facilitator, and she won unanimously for that. Our scholarship lead will be Sarah Beat, and our business lead will be Linda Gerbitz. Elizabeth?
I am so pleased to announce this new leadership opportunity for one of our earliest scholarship recipients. Sarah Stickford will be taking over as donor relations lead. Now, after the round of applause for Sarah, I'm going to pass the baton to Karen Stella.
Okay, I don't know why I had the echo, but here I am now. So the membership role is a write-in, so it's more exciting. So hope you can hear that. The winner is for membership lead, Beverly Both.
She might have been strong-armed. I think we all wrote her in.
No, there was a hotly contested group of write-ins. It wasn't only Beverly.
Yes. So I think we got a great group of leaders. We filled all the positions, and I do want to say thank you to my committee. We've been together for 3 years, and we're looking for new committee members to come join us. So, but I want to say thanks. They've put in a lot of hard work to get us through the bylaws and the updates and the selection, and you know, it hasn't been all roses at times, but I want to thank them for all their hard work. So there's your new leadership team.
Congratulations, everyone. So excited. I think we have some very strong women in some great positions and roles. I am excited specifically about Sarah as our first scholarship winner, one of our first scholarship winners coming full circle here is now a leader. So that's pretty cool. Okay, so let's move on to engaged scholarships. So Sarah, are you here with us?
I am. Hey, everyone. Awesome. So, hey, oh, I see all the waving. That's fantastic. Oh, that's okay. I actually don't know what order they're going to show up. So if you just want to click through them, that's fine.
Okay,
But
load them. Oops, and I jumped ahead. So one.
oh no.
How do you?
That's okay.
There we go. Okay, there we go. Sorry,
Well,
Sarah.
she's working that. All
Hey,
right.
Sarah,
So
I'm here too. It's Linda. I just can't get my video on.
awesome. Linda's in our committee as well, and we had a fantastic time going through all of the entries this year. And just to give you a little bit of a split, a little bit of understanding of where the entries were coming from, we actually saw a 3% increase in international entries, which was pretty cool. India was, this is the first time we actually had an entry from India, second time from Japan, and then also the first time from the United Kingdom. So that was quite exciting to have. The outreach, I think it's really interesting to see where are we impacting, where are people hearing about these scholarships. Word of mouth actually went down by like 25%. So it's quite interesting there, but social media and the community posts from FileMaker, they I think 150% they went up, which was just amazing to see that those areas. I know that the FileMaker community had a new facelift that happened, and I think that's really impacted, as well as all of our social media. I know that the team there is working really hard to try to get that outreach that's happening there. But then also we had some previous scholarship winners tweeting or sharing information, and they were mentioned as well when the submissions were brought in. And so it's really great to hear that obviously we're making an impact with these scholarships, and that's going full circle around, and it's really exciting. Did a little bit of a spread there on the right hand side. You can see the little chart there, just so that you can see by geo what's happening, where the representation is coming from. We didn't have anything from Australia or from APAC or anything, so I think that's an area that we might want to look at trying to focus, making sure that they're at least hearing about it in some way or another. So we might have some areas that we can improve there. But the most exciting part is our winners there at the bottom that you guys can see. I'm hoping I'm saying the names right, so I'm really sorry if it's wrong, but Ananya Pananda is from India, and she won our Karen Witzel Scholarship. Then we have Suzanne LaFontaine from Canada with the David Johnson Scholarship. And then we have Margaret Haar from United States, and then Lindsay Clark from Canada. So congratulations to all of those. They are very excited. The responses have been amazing. And then to all of those that did, just so everyone knows, these winners are going to actually be going to next year's conference, being that we have a free virtual Engage conference for this year. So that's been communicated out, and they were all understanding and very excited about that. And so we'll be sharing with them their membership to WIT-FM soon, and so we should be seeing them being a bit more vocal on that. And for all the winners that are going to be getting their condolence emails soon, thank you so much for entering, and there's more opportunities. We're going to try again for next year as well, so we can bring even more women to Claris Engage 2021.
So Sarah, I want to clarify that are we the women that are not accepted this year, they're able to reapply for next year, right?
Absolutely. You can reapply every year as far as we're concerned.
Well, especially because, this time you weren't even given the opportunity to attend in person, so you almost get a free year.
Yeah, and we're kind of really excited to it. Hopefully, depending on how much we can raise, and on the donor side, Sarah, you've got your work cut out for you. But yeah, depending on how much we can raise, it'd be amazing to bring 8 women, 8 new first-time attendees to Claris Engage next year. That would just be an awesome goal to achieve. So we're looking forward to that. And great thanks to Linda. We've been working hard at reviewing all these applications, and they really touched our hearts this year, as they do every year. But something special that happened this year too.
That's awesome.
I think we can say for sure that there will be 6 coming, because I know that the that the support group and also Mary at Wizard have committed long-term to those memorial scholarships. So we'll at least have that.
That's great.
That's awesome.
So exciting. Okay, thanks so much, Sarah. I appreciate that. I appreciate everybody's hard work, both on this committee as well as business. They have really done a lot of, spent a lot of time on this. So nice work all around, both committees and leads there. All right, Laramie, you are up with the exciting business and financial update. I'm sure everyone's on the edge of their seat. No offense, but you know, it's numbers.
I know it's numbers. Yeah, I know. I was thinking, I'm like, well, it's hard to follow such exciting news on the scholarships with some numbers. However, I will give them to you straight. At the beginning of Q2, which began on April 1st, we had a beginning balance of $16,506.08. We had income of $290 that comprised of one annual dues and the rest of them were monthly dues. We did not receive any donations in Q2. Off the cuff, we did receive one that will show in Q3, but that just came in, so we're not official on that yet. We had $685.20 in expenses, leaving us with a Q2 ending balance on June 30th of $16,110.88, and we were reconciled as of July 10th. Our filing for our 990s with the IRS was filed on April 21st, and we received confirmation last week from our accountants that we are completed with our 2019 filing and reporting.
Awesome.
Yay.
Thanks, Laramie. And I have to say, based on most businesses' results of Q2 2020, only losing $400 is actually not bad at all. So I think that's hopefully we'll start seeing some more donations come in as we get closer to engage. But that actually is a pretty successful quarter, considering everything. All right, moving on. Events, and this is a big one. Are you ready, Vanessa?
Yay, I am, I think. Okay, so you kind of might be thinking, how are we going to have events when we are not in person together? And I know we will all miss the luncheon and chocolate party, but we do have some fun things planned and in store. First of all, thank you to everyone that provided input on Slack and Facebook. We really appreciated hearing kind of your input on when you would like to see events going on. For those of you not based in the US, we would love to get your input so we can connect at other possible virtual or in-person Engage events that Claris is looking at in the different geos. So please reach out if you are based in other areas of the world. We would love to have you involved. So without further ado, we have two events that you hopefully saw when you went to register for Engage. And the first is on Tuesday before the start of sessions. And the second one is on Wednesday before the start of sessions. The event on Tuesday is going to be kind of small groups getting together for some networking. We'll probably have a few prompts for people that kind of to start conversation, and we'll switch those up a few times within that 45-minute slot. And that will be probably like groups of 5 to 7, depending on where our registration numbers end up. And then on Wednesday, it's going to be kind of more like a speed networking. So it'll be probably groups of 2 to 4, kind of trying to really introduce you to as many new people as possible and trying to connect you with as many new resources as possible. We have linked both of the registration pages in the chat, so please feel free to register while I'm sitting here talking to you. We can go to the next slide. So one thing we want to make sure is that everyone has their membership active and up to date, because as you have hopefully seen, there is a Slack channel for Engage discussion. We would love to have that active throughout the conference and leading up to it, just a way to kind of connect and really find that community that we all love when we go to engage. We'll also be having some website updates coming so that you have kind of a central location to hear what's going on with WIT FM. We're hopefully going to have the scholarship recipients up there as well to congratulate them, so you're able to find and reach out to them and welcome them to our community. But wait, there's more. And this year especially, we are looking for ways to kind of continue that connection. I know a lot of us feel like we're really missing that in-person connection and network and that immersive week-long experience that we get at Engage. So we're working to find more ways to connect throughout the year and trying to really extend what is normally an amazing week throughout the year. So a few things that we're looking into are speed networking events, scholarship recipient alumni reunion. So for all past scholarship recipients, please be on the lookout, as we will be in touch to try and find the best time for all of you. Some scholarship roundtables, just telling people what the scholarship experience is and the benefits and how it's impacted different recipients, but also for people that are interested in applying for this next cycle, what they can expect and if they have any questions. As well as some different panel discussions we're throwing around. So if you have any ideas or if you would like to get involved and help in some of the planning, please reach out, events@witfm.org, and we are excited to see all of you at Virtual Engage.
Thanks very much, Vanessa. You put a lot of work into this. We really appreciate your setting us up to continue to engage even after engage. See how I did that?
Yeah, I like it.
All right, moving on to membership. Chrissy, our new lead facilitator, will get to share an update here.
Absolutely. Well, I definitely just want to start with thanking everybody for the opportunity to be the new lead facilitator. I'm really excited, and I've got a big role to fill. I think Susan has really done some amazing things over the last couple of years, so I'm not sure how I can follow that act, but I'm looking forward to having the opportunity to do so. And on the membership front, at this point, there aren't a lot of updates. I do just want to flag that many of you became members because that was the first time it was an option, shortly after DevCon in August of last year. And when you signed up, you had an option to either have a recurring membership or to have a one-time payment. And so just to be aware that whichever boat you're in, if you're an annual member, you'll either see that automatic recurrence come across, or you'll see an email that will say you need to please renew your membership. So that is the main thing there. I think there are some exciting new directions that membership could go, but we're gonna deliver that kindly into to Bev's lap and see what she comes up with in the next year. So yeah, really excited to continue working with you all as we go forward.
Thanks, Christy, and thanks for your efforts of getting this set up for the first time. That was a lot of the things that we did here over the past year and a half was the first time for everything. So it's been a big step for everyone to fill those roles and to have those opportunities, and it's really been a lot of work. So thank you, Chrissy, for getting us off on the right foot there. All right, Karen, you're up for marketing. And you're on mute.
Sorry, I was worried about the feedback from before. So marketing is a support role for all the various other leads. And so we are here to help promote, create graphics, materials that are needed for promoting any of the different aspects of WIT FM. And there are always opportunities for additional people on the committee to help out with graphic design, video editing, writing and editing. And next slide, same person.
I went too far, sorry. Okay, we're back.
Okay, To elaborate also on what Vanessa brought up about virtual Engage and panels, we originally set up the virtual meetups to be for presenting, especially if you're preparing for Engage. Obviously, there wasn't a lot to do for this year. So in addition to being able to hone your presentation skills or even present a pitch that you might be doing for a client, we can schedule a meetup to allow you to do that at your convenience. And I'm also going to introduce a new method where we do it more casual, for like a coffee clutch basically, because we have a lot of user groups now doing the regular presentations. So there's probably more bandwidth on regular presentations online now than ever before. So I want to mix it up and do something a little different. So I'm introducing a new concept of either a coffee or a cocktail hour, depending on what suits everybody in terms of when they're free during the day. And it will be topics du jour, not anything we have to prepare for, just join and talk about our Claris work or talk about anything in general. And that's where we're at.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Karen. Okay, on to mentorship. And this one's all filled out here. Christy is not able to make the call today, but the role of mentorship is to monthly match up the mentors with mentees as they come in. And then also to run the Claris Engage Buddy program, which of course we need a conference to do. So Teresa has traditionally led that. But we are looking for a replacement for the mentorship lead role after Engage is over. So over the next month or so, if anyone is interested in taking on a leadership role, especially maybe if you were, and by the way, I think that we had other write-ins that did not take positions, so we might be reaching out to you to see if you want to help here instead. This is not a voted role or an elected role. It is one that is assigned, quote, assigned by the lead, but we need volunteers to help with that. So between Maka starting this out and Christy taking this over, this has a nice system to it. So it is not an overwhelming amount of work for you to do every month to match people up. And it will really help serve the community tremendously. So if you're interested, we ask that you reach out to info@witfm.org, and we will get you connected up with someone who can talk to you about a little bit more what it entails, and then hopefully get you to say, yes, I want to do it. All right, Claris Engage booth. So Dawn, do you want to speak to this? Obviously, Dawn did not get the opportunity to do much this year, but she is committed to 2021 too. Do you have any thing you want to add?
No. I think we'll just leave the time for things that are about Engage this year.
All right, sounds great. But she's ready to go, so we just need a conference. And Elizabeth, if you would like to jump in on the donor relations.
Hello, everyone. Again, this is my last stand as donor relations lead. Your next quarterly meeting, you will have the lovely Sarah Stickfort in this position speaking to you about all things donor related. This role, once again, is really Chief Gratitude Ambassador. The main thrust of this role is thanking the donors for their support of our scholarship program, because that really is what helps us be successful at making these women successful in their FileMaker careers. So I'm a little bit at a loss for words at this point, because the person stepping into this role is someone who understands gratitude in a really profound way. And I think that this next year is going to be great for WIT FM and for Sarah because of her taking on this role. The Memorial Scholarship donors have all been contacted about the changes to how we're dealing with the scholarships this year and sending the women to the next in-person Claris Engage, which we hope will be in 2021. So the support group has already made their donation, which is what Laramie spoke of earlier. That donation came in yesterday for $1,500. And I'm still waiting to hear back from Mary. Yes, thank you, jazz hands, Christy. I'm still waiting to hear back from Mary Johnson at Wizard. But as I had mentioned earlier, both of those parties have committed long-term to supporting those scholarships to keep the memory of their loved ones alive through this program. So that's easy money that we can pretty much count on. The rest will be announcements that go out through either FM meetings or word of mouth through the people here in this group. Again, Sarah, you can partner with Karen's marketing committee for slides, marketing blurbs. Laura Betts is amazing at getting social media buzz going. So you have a lot of support in this position. You are not alone. On that note, there will be a guidebook that I will pass along, similar to what I did when I handed scholarship off. Again, it's a guidebook and it's not meant to be set in stone. It's really just a little bit of history about what we have done in this position thus far, which is great for reference, so you kind of know what not to do again. And feel free to update processes and move forward. This is really your Play-Doh now, so you can mold it and form it into whatever will be best moving forward. That guidebook will be going around to a few of the leads just to proofread and make sure that I'm commenting on how donor relations intersects with various committees properly and that I don't have anything wrong before I hand that off. And that's all I have. Have a wonderful time, and it has been my pleasure to serve with this group for 4 years now, and I'm not disappearing. I'll just be helping out in some other way.
So Elizabeth, do you have any idea, and I don't know that we have the actual number, you might have to guess at the number. Do you have any idea how much money you have raised over that time?
Oh gosh, you know what? It never occurred to me to even quantify it that way, but now I will.
I'm gonna guess. I'll guess, and then you can guess. I'm gonna
Okay.
guess it's between $40,000 and $45,000.
That's probably about right.
So
Yeah, that's probably about right. But see, it's a little bit, you know, if you just isolate it to this role, because when I was in scholarship, I was still, you know, taking my little soapbox around to the FM meetings and going, hey, give us money. So really, it's, you know, where does it begin? Chicken, egg kind of thing.
that's true. Thank you so much. You've worked really hard. You've made the FileMaker world opened up to so many women, and we appreciate your service a lot. You've done really
Thank you
good.
so much. And my last thank you will be to Julie Sigfrenius, who way back in the day when I was just sequestered away in a little FileMaker consulting firm, tapped me on the shoulder and said, hey, do you want to help out with this group? And I said, sure. I had no idea what that would do for my career and my life. So thank you, Julie, so very much.
I think we've talked as leads over and over again about the impact that Julie, as well as Molly Connolly, have had on getting people involved and pushing some of us outside of our comfort zone a little bit. But watching everybody grow into those roles and grow up in the community has been so cool. So big shout outs to both Julie and Molly for the shoves that some of us needed. All right. Next up, I don't know if Agnes is here, and I don't know if she has an update. I'm scrolling. I don't see her here. So everything is good on the website. I know that she has some goals to actually revamp it and perhaps change. Apparently, we're using 10,000 plugins. That is a little bit overwhelming on the website side. So I know at some point she's going to work on simplifying that. But, you know, it's just all about finding time, right? So that is a goal in that area. And now we have some exciting stuff from Maka to talk about the educational outreach program.
Darn, okay, it looks like my updates I made during the meeting didn't make it
no.
to the slide. Sorry about the last minute updates. All right, so educational outreach is a brand new committee, and our goal was to introduce FileMaker Tech to as a potential career choice for young girls and young women. And as I have been thinking about a lot about, you know, the issues that have been going on recently with all the protesting, and it got me thinking, like, what can women in tech do? Like, how can we contribute to social justice and racial justice? And it got me thinking, like, how many Black people do I see at DEF CON or engage? You know, very, very little. How many Black women have I seen at DEF CON? I mean, I think maybe one. So I don't know how many Black women do you know in the community? So I think that is the problem we want to fight. Like, we want there to just be more racial diversity in this community. And so we decided to launch a new program, and we're calling it the Career Development Program. And so let me pull up my notes here so I make sure I say the right stuff. So what we're going to provide in this program is we're going to use the existing mentorship program. So we want that to be part of this as well. Resume assistance, resume review, resume creating assistance, networking, assistance with getting internships and jobs. Like, you know, we all know people who are probably looking for interns, and how can we kind of help that connection be made for people who are just kind of brand new coming into this. Training resources, guidance, and growing skill sets. We want to accept people who have zero knowledge in tech, you know, versus or very little knowledge in tech, and we want to just help them grow from the beginning. So point them to the right resources for training, and with mentorship, help them kind of grow into as a tech guru like the rest of us. Access to online training programs and resources. We also talked about the opportunity of solving real world problems, because I feel like that's just the best way to learn. So guiding them through pro bono projects, helping nonprofits, like kind of helping them learn from real world experiences. And we're also going to offer 1 year free membership to all participants of this program. So the first iteration of this program, thank you for putting that there. The first iteration of this program, we want to support women from underrepresented racial and ethnic groups to start with, and we'd like to grow that eventually to be all people of underrepresented racial groups, and also all women, and that would include all women. So that's our long-term goal. But I think to start with, we're gonna kind of get the wheels going and making sure that we're doing things right and learn from our mistakes, with the biggest need right now, which is basically women from underrepresented racial and ethnic groups. So that would include Black women and Native Americans, and I think we're gonna kind of solidify that list a little bit more, but we'll have that. We're working on a website page, and we'll have that listed out there. So once we have that all set up and we have the program established, we want to also then partner up with existing groups and let them know about us. So groups like Black Girls Who Code, Boys and Girls Club, Philly Tech Sisters, groups like that. So that's our long-term goal for spreading the word. So hopefully, I think in the leads meeting, Elizabeth, I think it was you who said, at the very beginning of this, there was only very few women, and look at us now, right? So I'm hoping with programs like this, we can say, oh, at the very beginning, we had very few Black people in the community, but look at us now. So that's our long-term goal. And so I want to thank my committee members. They've all been awesome. We've been meeting weekly. We're working really, really hard. I have a big list for all of them to do. So hopefully we'll get things up, and hopefully we can get our website up by Engage so we can kind of spread the word and engage. That's all I got.
Awesome. Thanks, Maka. I think this is such an exciting undertaking, and so proud of you for taking the lead and coming up with this idea. It's so exciting. So
thank you. I'm excited too.
All right. So, and sorry if I was making people dizzy with the slides. I was trying to find our update. All right. So, Magali, do you have any update on our databases?
No, all our databases are on the server, but there are some new databases that should innovate in the next months. So it's a good thing, and there is a little bit to do. So if someone had I don't find the word want to come with me and to make a real committee, because the server don't reply to me. It's a little bit annoying to speak with him with it. So feel free to come and to make a committee with me.
So yeah, so you need some help. And I think, Magali, isn't there a meeting to discuss the databases coming up soon?
No, it was last week.
Oh, it was last week. Okay.
Yeah, it was last week. And that's where we decide of some things that could be do best. So there is things to do.
Awesome. So there is some development work needed, correct?
Yeah, and some thinking too. I mean, we have to look what we could do and what we are able to do, and what time we have to do all that, and so on.
So this would be a great opportunity for people who are more development oriented, that want to kind of maybe work behind the scenes but want to contribute their skills to the benefit of the group. This would be a great opportunity for you to get involved. So you can email to database@witfm.org, which goes to Magali, or you can email to info@witfm.org if you are interested in participating in this. We do have it's actual development work. You don't have to speak in front of a group. You don't have to do anything like that. So if you're eager to help in a less upfront way, this is a great opportunity to step in and to use those skill sets.
Can I just put a crazy idea out there for a second?
Yeah.
I know that Maka is about to launch her program, but I don't know if there's any sort of on-air developers, young developers who haven't gotten a lot of experience. This might be a really safe way to get in there and work with some other devs and try out some things, It's not like we have anything groundbreaking in our databases. They are very important, but it's not going to shut down an entire enterprise and stop food from getting to markets. You know what I'm saying? And I know from a conversation recently, I think Karen Stella is a little bit involved with this project and was talking about converting all of the various tables of donors and members and this and that into a people table. So that right there is a lesson, a valuable lesson for anyone developing databases. So I'm just thinking maybe that this might be a really good way for some young woman who's never gotten her hooks into FileMaker yet to kind of get introduced. Thoughts?
I like that idea.
I think it's great.
It's a really good idea, Elizabeth. Very, very good.
All right. So, Maka, go find
If I
him.
may also, sorry.
Go ahead, Julie.
Magali, there is a group in Europe with the Apple Academies that has been doing, they're a young group of developers. I believe that there are some women in that group and they would be great interns. I know my colleague Marie Normand has been working closely with that group. So I will connect the two of you together. That might be a great resource to add to your committee and get resources for you, and also at a right time in those young women's career. So I'll take that as an action item for you.
Great. And there is, Julie, there is also a 42 school in Paris. Am I wrong?
Yep. Okay, we'll do both.
Okay.
Awesome. Thanks, Julie. Appreciate that. Okay, so Julie, since you were just unmuted and can unmute again, what would you like to share with us here as our liaison with Claris?
Well, as you all know, last week, Rosemary and the marketing team, and it's well beyond the marketing team, the many members have been just working very hard to launch something that we've never done before, which is an Engage event. And it is to say the least, a behemoth effort to try to convert a 25-year standing developer conference, rebrand it, and then now, because of circumstances, deliver it as a meaningful virtual event. And I have to say that as a periphery individual that's supporting that team in a minor way comparison to the lifting that team has done, I think the launch was very meaningful, and the response initially, without sharing numbers, is phenomenal. And so our intent is to keep feeding and watering our developer community, certainly attracting new young developers, and certainly developers that are women. That's certainly what we want to try to do, even in amidst the current situation and times that are outside of our control. So that has been a huge force going on at Claris, and I'm so happy that we were able to include Wood FM in part of that collaboration and continue also your visibility, because that's very important to us. So that's the late breaking news, I think, around the halls of Claris. And then certainly we're working very hard to unveil some meaningful content during those 2 days of the Engage event. And we want to make sure that the time that anyone spends with us on those virtual meetings finds it very valuable. So you can only imagine the amount of work that's going on at every level and in every department right now at Claris to be able to be sure that we drive some good stuff. So that's probably my biggest update from the Claris halls, is just making sure we're doing that.
You know, something that I have noticed, but I don't think we've ever really called that much attention to, is, Rosemary and Sherry are so out front leading this, and they have been for years, many, many years. Talk about some strong kick-ass women. I mean, what a blessing for us to have them to look to as role models, and as they grow this community, as, even somebody that, is an example to follow. So that is awesome. And I don't know if you ladies are here today, but thank you. We appreciate it.
I see Rosemary, so she's hearing it, and she'll take that back to Sherry, who I don't think could join us. But, we just added to the executive staff at Claris a new vice president of marketing that is a woman.
I saw that. That's very exciting.
I'm happy to let you know, I mean, there are so many women throughout Claris in very, very meaningful positions, and many of us have been in those roles for years. It's a wonderful company that has great diversity. And Maka, when you're ready to launch your educational initiative, we have a group called Women at Claris. And
Awesome.
we would love to take a little bit of time and have you present to Women at Claris what you're doing, because I think that group could be very influential in spreading the word.
Oh, that's
That
awesome.
would be awesome.
Thank you, Julie. And thank you for your example as well.
Julie, do you want to just take a moment to say something about the Claris developer subscription? Because I thought that was a great thing that maybe people don't know about.
Oh, sure. Along with the impact that we collaborated with Join Table and Maka and that whole team with the Claire COVID response team, which is still ongoing because there's still a pandemic going on. I don't know if you guys have heard. We were able to think about another way that we could try to impact and help our broader community and things that we can do. We're always looking for things at Claris. And one of the things that we just announced, and a blog went out a week and a half ago or so, was for any student, and this is typically higher ed, we can break a rule if we need to, but like a high ed student that's like not going back to college or is taking college courses from home, which many are doing that worldwide, or a recently displaced worker who's maybe thinking about re-careering, given the fact that maybe they're finding themselves in unique circumstance. We announced that we were, through the end of this calendar year, we will offer a subscription and a full year's subscription of the FileMaker developer subscription to either one of those qualifying individuals, and they'll have that for a year, and there's no purchase required. And then we exempted the requirement of that license, which it's supposed to be only used for testing, but those that qualify for this offer can use the license for development. So the intent is to try to make it almost a $0 barrier of entry to get a hold of software, including server, to be able to become a new developer to our platform. And I think there's some really nice parallels to what Maka, her initiative, is doing. And I think we need to align with that. But you can tell anyone far and wide, if they're looking to change their career into FileMaker, one of the easiest ways to get a hold of the software is to just go to the blog. It's claris.com. That blog has a link, and they can fill out a form, and we'll get them the software.
Awesome.
Yeah, thank you for throwing that in, because I was going to ask if and how that would extend to Maka's program. And is there an age requirement? Does it have to be 18 and over?
Yeah, so what we were doing for education when we introduced this is the student has to give us a .edu typically address, or their school email, and that would be our gateway of a sort of hey, they are a student. So, but as I say, we try to set up these programs to encompass what works 80% of the time, and then sometimes something shifts, and we need to consider maybe a new group that we want to respond to. So there's no intent that we want to close the doors. As Maka, you're formalizing your plan. Let's figure out how we can incorporate it, because I think it's a bullseye for what the intent and spirit of this initiative is, and I'm sure we can find a way to align.
Awesome. One thing you said that I liked was the zero barrier to entry, and that's actually something I've been thinking about too with fundraising. Is, if this program really kicks off, maybe we could fundraise and provide hardware for people who don't even have laptops, who want to have a career in tech. So that would be like literally a $0 entry if we can in the future. But just a thought that I had just had.
That's
well, and on that note, I mean, think about how many people we know at companies and CEOs that buy equipment for their employees, and then maybe are retiring pieces of equipment that can still be used or repurposed.
That's a great, yeah. I know Apple internally. Apple internally has a hardware refresh program where they, any old computer that they don't need anymore, they have one repository for it and then they can distribute it for other groups. So maybe we could do something like that too. Like, yeah, if you're done with your laptop, give it to us and then we could use it for the educational outreach program. That's a really good idea.
And they could get a write-off for that too, because
Yeah.
as a donation like that too. So, but yeah, that's cool. Good ideas. I'm excited to see how this program rolls out, Maka. And
Yeah, might want to partner with the donor relations lead on that.
Right, totally.
All right, so I think that's our last slide. So the next one, I'm going to hand off to Chrissy
Can I
because.
add one thing?
Oh, yeah.
I've just been slacking with Sherry and she said, oh, thank you.
Oh, okay. Awesome. Thank you for sharing.
She has engaged related fire drills that she is trying to put out.
Understandable.
Can I say one more thing about Engage?
Yeah.
It was really, really cool to go onto the registration page and see what FM really huge right there. That was so awesome. Thank you, Claris, for exposure just through that. That's really cool.
That was pretty exciting. It was very cool. And to be the first thing on each day, that's pretty cool too. Okay, so I'm going to hand it off to your new leader here, Chrissy, because she will be leading the next meeting. So she gets to announce the next meeting.
All right. Well, our next meeting is Tuesday, October 13th at this same time as this meeting. So if you have any questions, suggestions, or ideas, or you would like to be featured on a committee, please send me an email. And I do know that a couple of people have already said, I'd really like to be able to see what committees are looking for people. So I've got that sort of like number one on my agenda of things to do is to increase the visibility so that you can have a place and easily go and say, okay, these are who needs help and is that a good fit for me? So I would love to rope more and more of you into this awesome organization because really I think the magic happens when we're actually working together and that's what it's all about. So really excited. And thank you, Susan. I think we need like a round of applause for Susan or a round of wavy hand. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I appreciate that so much. You're in good hands with Chrissy. She's awesome. The other thing is that for those of you who are just listening, and we've mentioned this in past meetings, one of the beauties of this this whole community, this community of women, is that when you volunteer to become part of the leads group, you almost have this built-in set of friends. I mean, we're talking to each other almost every day on Slack about something. And over the years, I have found, I have friendships that I will continue beyond of people that I would have never met if I did not get involved in this. So I encourage you, come join that community. Come serve under Chrissy. She'll be great. And I look forward. I will still be around. I'm not going away. I'm still a member. I'll still be in Slack. I'm a past lead, so I'll be in your meetings. Here if anybody has any questions. But it's been great. Thank you all for everything.
What is your new role, Susan? Like, what does the past facilitator mean?
The past role is, it's like a president emeritus in another organization where, I'm here for history. If you have any questions about history, but Chrissy's the lead. And if for some reason, I believe that's what Linda had shared earlier. If for some reason, Chrissy is unable or unwilling or, wins the lottery and escapes to some other town far, far away, then I am able to step in and complete the end of the period if it's necessary.
Cycle.
So yeah, a backup plan, so to speak.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Sure. All right, ladies, it was great to see everybody. And thanks for coming. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.